Hey guys, welcome to Juicy Tea, where I read out the best stories on Reddit, so you don't have to. The funny, shocking, and satisfyingly juicy. You're my child. I have the right to poison you. Posted by Arkansas. So, I'm allergic to seafood. It's not the anaphylactic type of allergy, thank goodness, so I won't die if I eat some. But I do throw up, have a stomachache, and a massive headache for a few hours afterwards. Enough seafood, and I break out in small red hives all over my arms. My mother didn't believe it, and as a child, I couldn't stand up to her properly. She'd force me to eat stuff with seafood in it to prove that I wasn't allergic, and then ignore me when I was sick. One day she held a dinner party. I was dressed up beautifully and trotted out to parade before all the guests. At the time, I was around 9 years old and precocious for my age, and absolutely fed up with my mum making me sick. So when she held out a fish cutlet for me to eat, I saw my chance. I loudly said, "I can't eat that, I'm allergic to fish." My mum said, "No you're not, just eat it." I said, "I'm allergic, I'll throw up." No Asian mother will ever back down in front of guests for fear of looking like she can't discipline her child. My mother grabbed the fish cutlet and shoved it into my mouth and said in her most firm voice of command, "Eat." So, I ate it. Cut to about 10 minutes later, I went up to my mother and tugged on her sarari to get her attention and said, "I don't feel well." Buff! I vomited all over her, the expensive carpet, and in full view of all the guests. My mother has a reputation for being a kind, generous, charitable, and very religious woman. So, in front of all the guests, she couldn't do anything, except act sympathetic and send me off to bed to recover. She never made me eat seafood again. I really don't understand why people insist your allergies are made up. Like, why? Who wants that kind of attention? Entitled parents are angry. I won't babysit 5 out of 7 days of the week. Post by, that's nice, I don't care. My brother and sister-in-law, who are both 32, moved back into my parents' home last week. They have 4 young kids, so, of course, what used to be a peaceful house has turned into a chaotic mess. Like a literal pigsty. Friday, my brother asked me what my day-to-day schedule was like, so they could get an idea of how babysitting would work. I'm a 19-year-old girl. Obviously, I was like, what the F? Because I never agreed to babysit for anyone. I sat there dumbfounded and asked him to elaborate. Apparently, my dad offered to help them with childcare by using me, despite me having classes to attend, both in person and online. Plus, I work part-time, and no one even bothered to check with me to see if it was okay. I flat out said no. I was not babysitting Monday to Friday, and they would have to work out some other solution. This upset my sister-in-law. She began complaining that I act like I don't love my nephews and nieces because I'm not willing to help them out and take care of them. Again, what the F? My dad got angry and told my mum to make me agree. I just got up and finished my dinner in my room because I was not about to deal with them guilt-tripping me. Later, my brother approached me. He showed me what was basically a weekly schedule that had the hours they worked and the hours I was expected to look after the kids. All 4 of them, because the 6-year-old is homeschooling at the moment. To spare the rest of the boring details, I'd be on duty from 6 AM to 1 PM, and then again from 6 PM to 8 PM, because they want some special alone time. Again, I shut that down and told him I wasn't doing it. Cue sister-in-law telling dad I still won't do it. He came into my room yelling, calling me selfish and lazy, and said that I'd have to come around eventually since they'd be living here for a while. By the way, my dad doesn't even work. My mum does. He sits around all day watching TV, and when she gets home, he doesn't even speak to her until he wants to know what's for dinner. Okay, so 5 days a week, 6 AM to 1 PM, and then again from 6 PM to 8 PM. That's, whoa, that's 9 hours per day, 45 hours per week. This is more than a full-time job. And you're studying and working part-time too? Girl, you're better off moving out at that point. Update, a majority of the comments are telling me to move out, and I'm trying. I'm saving up enough money so I can be set for the first few months that I'm out. Hopefully, I can be moved out by December, maybe sooner. Also, my parents don't have any of my banking info. I closed the account they had access to. And I'm getting a new lock for my door because the one I currently have can easily be picked. I've also seen a few comments about getting my mum away. Truth be told, my dad's family would no doubt harass her to no end. I'll talk to her about it though. She deserves the world and so much more. Am I the a-hole for not talking with my mum before taking her off my bank account? Posted by Fast Possibility 258. I'm a 21-year-old woman and I've always had a great relationship with my mother. I could talk to her about anything, relationship problems, school drama, etc. If anything, our relationship grew stronger when I went off to college. I called her once, maybe twice a week, and texted her regularly. My bank account has both mine and my mum's name on the account, and we both have access to it. I opened it when I was 15 and was starting to work after school and on the weekends. My mum was teaching me how to be responsible with my money. So anyway, I have a habit of always checking my account to make sure I don't have any unfamiliar charges. Starting senior year of high school, my mum began asking to borrow money to pay the bills. Granted, she did pay me back, but we're not talking a couple of hundred, we're talking like a couple thousand. More recently though, the last 2 times, she hasn't asked to borrow the money, she just takes it. Again, she does pay me back, but it's like a month later. I no longer live at home and I have rent to pay and other expenses. I don't appreciate checking my account and not having the money I should have. I still have enough for my expenses, but it's just annoying. I'm now in the process of taking my mum off my account. I haven't told her yet, and to be honest, I'm nervous to tell her. I don't want to ruin our relationship over money. So, am I the a-hole for not talking with my mum before taking her off my bank account? It's kind of ironic that OP's mum was teaching OP, who at 15 was working and saving thousands of dollars, how to be responsible with money, while she, the adult, had to borrow those savings to cover the bills on a regular basis. Sounds like her mum could really use a lesson from OP on how to be responsible with money. But seriously, if it's 100% your money, then it's 100% your say. If she wants to borrow money from you, she can ask. It's weird that she would take it without asking. Might want to also freeze your credit if you're not using it, just in case. My mother, who didn't raise me, thinks she's entitled to a mother suite when I buy a house. Posted by Mr. 1988. Quick backstory. My mother didn't raise me, her parents did. She's always chosen guys and partying over me and my siblings. This is why CPS has taken all 3 of her kids away. Once I became an adult and joined the military, she would call me up every couple of months asking for money. She works, but it's a BS job. Eventually I asked her why she doesn't get a real job, and her response was, because I'd be miserable doing that. Here I get to chat with people and have fun. That's all good, if you can pay your bills, but she can't. She's done the exact same thing to my sister, who's also in the military. Anyway, I talk to her roughly 3 or 4 times a year. Last week she was asking me, when I finish school, where will I be moving to? I told her, I don't know. Her response was, well, wherever you go, you know you need a mother suite for me to stay at. And I said, no I don't. After that, I got bombarded with messages about how my generation doesn't know anything about respect and how I wasn't raised properly. Mind you, I was raised by the same people as her. Also, how my dad wanted to end the pregnancy, and if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. After all that, I said thanks, but I'm still never gonna have a suite for you. Well, enjoy your effing life, is the last thing she said before hanging up. But hey, I'm sure in a couple of months she'll call to ask for something again. If you like this video, please let me know, and subscribe for more juicy tea.